remember, awareness, enlightenment is not something that comes in your comfort zone. It comes only when you go through a certain phase. That burning cigar touch may appear as very insensitive for those shallow men and women who have absolutely no depth of understanding. But the wise is well aware that consciousness comes only through the fire of suffering. This thing is not to make you sad. Remember, that's where people go on missing. This thing is just to make you more alert. Because people become alert only when the arrow goes deep into their heart and won't stay. It is only when you go through a certain phase that you become detached. The baby comes out of the mother's womb. It is no more attached. It is smiling, playing, laughing, because now it has become detached. How deep is this and how beautiful is this? But not everybody could relate, and maybe that is the reason why everybody cannot experience the beyond, why everybody cannot become the Buddha. Certain men and women are too much attached to their mother, their home, their locality. Saturn itself is a planet that goes on clinging, just the way a baby is always clinging to his mother. And then this attachment towards mother creates a headache for the wife of the native. Because no matter how much she does for him, he always appreciates his mother. The wife always has to take the back seat because the native is too much attached to his mother. He just can't listen to anything against his mother. A woman who marries a man having Saturn food should be mentally prepared to face the consequences of her husband's too much attachment with his mother. This situation often leads to a conflict between the wife and the husband. The same is applicable for a man who marries a woman with Saturn food. In fact, he should consider accepting his wife along with her mother. It is like that one-on-one offer that you just can't refuse. Saturn hates to move. Once he gets into a certain place, he remains there for a very long time. And so generally Saturn in 4th house native rarely shifts his or her house. They like to settle down. Have you all seen the advertisement for the mobile brand OnePlus? It says never settle. This never settle mindset comes when Rahu is in the 4th house. But when Saturn is in the 4th house, the man or the woman is much interested to settle. If Saturn is not in a dissolving nakshatra like Moola, or Saturn is not in a disinterested nakshatra like Magha, or Saturn is in a fiery nakshatra like Ashwini, that the woman or the man settle down early in life. But if Saturn is found in Moola, Magha or Ashwini nakshatra, then the person finds it difficult to settle down. Let this be very clear that his or her mindset is to settle, but their karmic quality is such that they are not able to settle down. Saturn in the 4th house is equivalent to Saturn in Cancer. In fact, in the Kala Purush Kundali, the 4th house is the house of Cancer zodiac. And the Lal Kitab simply follows the Kala Purush Kundali, meaning as per Lal Kitab, the ascendant is always Aries, always. Saturn in the 4th is just like Saturn-Moon conjunction. The undercurrent of the native psyche is kind of depressive. And because 4th house is related to emotions, here Saturn tends to repress the emotions. The person spends most of his or her life in repressing their feelings, which in turn keeps impacting their health because the repression is not good. It leads to many complexities. Always remember, reparation is to live a life that you are not meant to live. Reparation is to do things which you never wanted to do. Reparation is to be the fellow that you are not. Reparation is a way to destroy yourself. Reparation is suicide. Very slow, of course, but very certain. Slow poisoning. Expression is life. Reparation is suicide. Saturn fourth house is a woman who generally is found to be conservative as far as her sense of dressing is concerned. Generally, you will find them wearing conservative, not much revealing dresses. As Saturn, when it is in the very center of the first chart, the typical modern way of dressing is something that the native is not comfortable with. Even when they wear a modern dress, they are much on the conservative style and not very open and revealing. It is difficult to find a girl or a woman who has a Saturn core and she has come out openly and expressed herself, her emotions, her feelings to a man whom she loves. In general, otherwise also, woman never proposes the man. That is okay. Not proposing is one thing, but the same woman at least gives some signals to the man whom she loves, so that the man gets the message, so that the man himself steps ahead and proposes her. And that is what happens around the world. The woman never is the first to propose. She keeps quiet. She waits, and she waits. And she goes on waiting until one fine day the man himself comes and opens his heart out to her. Says those four magic words, will you marry me? This proposal, this happening of two lovers coming together and getting married is possible only when the woman gives some signal, when the woman expresses her feeling, her longing, her love to the man she loves. But Saturn for woman never says anything. They are so good at repressing their feelings that a man who is in love or who wants to marry should be smart enough to understand her feelings and step ahead to propose. You can say that it is an IQ test for lovers who fell in love with Saturn for woman. Saturn for man is also not expressive, and so the woman has to take special effort to make him speak. In fact, waiting for the Saturn for man to propose is in itself a great test of patience for her, because this man is so slow and so unexpressive that he simply never speaks his heart out. It is indeed a challenge for the woman who is in love with a Saturn for man. There was a man who was on his spiritual path, but love can happen